Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Darrell Bean Stadium on the campus of Earlham College. Tonight, the Earlham women's lacrosse team looks to move to 3-0 in the HCLC. They'll be hosting the Lions of Mount St. Joe. They look to go to 2-0 in conference play. This is the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. Could be a good one tonight. It's kind of a contrast in two teams in a lot of ways. An Earlham team that right now is playing extremely well. On Mount St. Joe's side, they won their last contest. In fact, they won it big, but the problem is they just haven't played many matches this year, just 7 coming into this one here tonight. The Quakers, meanwhile, 8-4 overall, 2-0 in the conference. Mount St. Joe at 2-5 on the season. 1-0 in conference play, but 1-3 on the road. So they'll have to really play well tonight against an Earlham team that's coming off 2 straight wins. They beat Bethany 15-3 and Anderson also by an identical 15-3 score. These two teams right at the top of the conference. Earlham 2-0, Transylvania 1-0, Mount St. Joe also at 1-0. 3 teams undefeated after tonight. It'll be down to 2. We'll talk about this Mount St. Joe team coming up in just a couple of moments. We'll take a closer look at what they bring to the table here tonight. This is the pregame show brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
We check them better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back 'em better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Hey, we're back once again here at Darrell Bean Stadium. We are moments away from the opening of this one. The draw probably about 10 minutes away here tonight as we continue here on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. You know, we mentioned the Lions coming in, only 7 matches underneath their belt coming into this one. They've struggled on the road this year, just 1-3, but they come off a nice win beating Thomas More by a final of 16-3. They got out fast and furious in that one. They were leading 13-1 at the half. Megan Dancer, 6 goals and an assist in the win. She leads the way, and Joy Glacken also had 4 goals. They controlled this one from the beginning, and we talk so much about the draw control. They dominated in that category 21-6. They also outshot Thomas More 31-16. They're not a high-scoring team. The Lions average just over 7 goals per game. That will be a concern tonight against a keeper in Jordan Blackburn, who is really playing very well. Number 2 in the conference in saves. She is number 1 in save percentage. She's also number 1 in goals against average at only 9.31. So the Lions are really going to have to play well here today against Jordan Blackburn in goal. Now, on the other side, how about Claudette Roskamp? 61 goals. She leads the HCLC in scoring this year, not only the goals but also in points with 67. She also leads the conference in shots with 109. And you look at her and Emma Lady, the 1-2 punch on this team. Emma Lady, 38 goals. She's number 4 in the conference, so the Quakers have number 1 and number 4 in scoring. And look at the numbers when you talk about shots on goal. Emma Lady, 87.9% shot on goal this year. Ross Camp at 82.6. That's why they've been so successful, because they are two that can really put it in the net this season. The Quakers coming off a win over Anderson. Ross Camp had 6 goals. Emma Lady, 4 goals in that win as well. Could be a good one, and we'll see if the Quakers can move to 3-0 in the conference. We'll find out in just a couple of moments. This has been the pregame show brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear, right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
Think about the moments in your life, moments you might miss if you become ill. People often ignore their own health, even when their body is telling them something isn't right. Routine health screenings could be the difference between catching it early when it's more treatable or waiting until it's too late. Make time to have an annual wellness visit. Keep up with routine screenings so you don't miss out on any of your moments. Reed Health's team of experts can keep you in control of your health, making sure you stay right where you belong. Reed Health, right beside you.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
Well, undoubtedly for both these teams, if they plan on at least competing for a Heartland Collegiate Lacrosse Conference Championship tonight, it starts right here. Earlham at 2-0 in the conference. And again, Mount St. Joe at 1-0. Other matchups today, Transylvania is at Hanover and Franklin is at Anderson. So that Transylvania, Hanover, the top 4 teams going at it tonight. Again, with Transylvania, Hanover, and Earlham and Mount St. Joe. So here we go. The draw about ready to begin. The Quakers will be in their home whites here tonight. Always keep an eye on Claudette Roskamp, the freshman out of Chesterfield, Missouri. She will be in the draw to begin this one here this evening. Quakers have been very good in the draw. And they will again move right to left, and we are underway here tonight. Let's see who pick up that first draw control as the ball scoots away and eventually picked up off the turf by Megan Dancer, the freshman out of Springboro, Ohio. Here's how things will line up for Mount St. Joe. Ashley Costa, along with Megan Dancer. Brianna Brannon also gets the start. Paige Neighbor, Gabriella Hatfield, along with Olivia Hocker, Erin Bax, Emma Lickert, along with Morgan Fisher, as well as Joy Glacken, the number 2 scorer on the team, Sarah Winstead, and then Sydney Vanell is in goal here tonight. Vanell out of Cleves, Ohio, the sophomore. And again, that's how the lineup will be this evening for Mount St. Joe. As the brief whistle stops playing, we are back underway here at Darrell Bean Stadium. The Quakers working behind the cage, their first offensive possession. And, of course, we'll give you all the starters here in a moment for the Quakers. As behind the cage, Alexis Warren, as the Quakers try to set it up now. Emma Lady on the left wing. Emma starts to make her move, feeds inside, and the low shot's going to be picked up by Vanell right there. So a nice play by the keeper, that time by Mount St. Joe. So they'll get their first save of the night. Serena Pisacano starts tonight for the Quakers. Claudette Roskamp as the ball's turned over. Back over again to the Quakers. And Earlham again will go right behind the cage and now look to set back up on the left wing. Also for the Quakers, Krista Kirk gets the start. Maya Claggett along with Abby McCullough, Meg Murphy, Becca Belcher. Raven Thibodeau also starting for the Quakers today as Earlham about as healthy as they've been all year long. Emma Lady, Alexis Warren, Yusra Manar, and Jordan Blackburn. We mentioned Blackburn in goal again for the Quakers. Earlham behind the cage once again. Emma Lady on the left wing, just outside the 8. Ball is lost, and will Earlham keep it? Yes. Earlham able to scoop that one up off the turf. That was Meg Murphy there for the Quakers. And we have a whistle and a foul called on the play, so this will stay with the Quakers. Looks like we may have a free position shot, which will be the first one of the night for the Quakers. Meg Murphy will have it at the hash mark at the top. Murphy fires and scores, and the Quakers get on the board here first tonight at the 27-41 mark. And Meg Murphy, the freshman out of Chico, California, makes it a 1-0 lead, Earlham. So good start for the Quakers here this evening. Earlham got out to a great start in their matchup against Anderson. We talked about what Mount St. Joe was able to do in their game against Thomas More, in which they were ahead 13-1. Earlham got ahead of Anderson 11-1 at the half and dominated the match from there. So Earlham off to a good start here tonight. And Earlham, again, they've developed so many different weapons. It isn't just Roskamp and Emma Lady. They've got other players that can score as Earlham able to win off the draw once again. This is Emma Lady. Lady able to dodge away from 2 defenders. And Earlham just outside the 12-meter line. Ball is lost and eventually picked up by Pisacano there for the Quakers. Quick move inside and a whistle. Let's see if they'll count that goal. It may not count right here, and we have a stoppage of play, and it will be a free position shot before the goal was scored. So the Quakers will have their second free position shot. Hash mark to the right. Opportunity here for the leading scorer for the Quakers as Roskamp went high. The shot will go up over the goal. Might have been tipped there by the goalie as the Quakers keep it in their possession. We're just underway. Earlham gets the early first goal of this one here tonight. They'll work behind the cage once again. That is Roskamp. Roskamp just in front of the goalie. Now we'll bring it back out. Take that back. That's going to be number 9, Krista Kirk, not number 8, Roskamp. And the Quakers will set it up out front once again beyond the 12. As we come up on the 26-minute mark here in the opening period of play, or should say opening half of plays, the ball comes loose. Roskamp will scoop that one up off the turf. Here is Alexis Warren. Roskamp will cut through, and Warren will take it on the right wing. Ball played behind the cage once again. You see the one defender there. That is Gabriella Halfhill, who's making sure she gives her keeper a little bit of a help. Nice pass to the inside. Ball loose. Scooped up off the turf there by Costa. And a whistle. And that'll stop the clock here in the opening half of play. 26:05 remaining. And where will they place the ball here, as it will not be a free position shot. It will be a possession for the Quakers to the left of the cage, and Earlham will bring it out front. Good look at McCullough, and there is another stoppage of play, and we will have a free position shot. Another violation against Mount St. Joe in this one, and they may cost them if they keep giving up the free position shots here early in the first half of play. Official making sure that the players on that right side are behind the 8-meter line. And Earlham now with the free position shot. They go low. It'll be saved there. Good save on the shot by Vanell. And the Quakers, though, will keep it. Pass comes loose. Earlham still has the possession. We may have another one, a free position shot right here. So the Quakers dominating this category early. It'll be to the hash mark to the right. That's McCullough. So McCullough makes her move, looking inside to Roskamp. Turnover Quakers. Earlham not executing the free position shot very well on that one. So it'll go back over to Mount St. Joe. And the Quakers hold on to the 1-0 lead. So now Mount St. Joe trying to work themselves into position with a pass going near midfield. In fact, over the midfield line in a scramble for the loose ball, picked up off the turf by Megan Dancer. And Dancer will make her way toward the goal. And the shot, and we've got a whistle at the other end. Megan Dancer able to pick that one up off the turf, and looks like we will have our first free position shot now for Mount St. Joe. Dancer, 10 goals on the year. That is second on the team for Mount St. Joe, and this will be on the hash mark to the left. If you can work this fast enough, you're basically a one-on-one with the goalie right here. Dancer makes her move, draws the double team, goes high and scores. So Dancer, the second leading scorer on the team, does her job. And we're tied at 1 apiece. Dancer stayed high, and certainly for Jordan Blackburn, she had her stick up high enough, but just that one little piece that went a little bit above her stick, and the next thing you know, the goal happens, and we're tied at 1 apiece. So nice play there by Dancer. Megan Dancer, just a freshman out of Springboro, Ohio. So Dancer now with 11 goals, back again to the draw. Ryan, we talk about maybe Mount St. Joe not being a high-scoring team, just over 7 goals per game. They've tied this one at 1 apiece here in the first half. The draw, who will win this one? Quakers able to come away with it. Roskamp there for the Quakers. Live stats as we go on GoEarlham.com. Nice dodge to the inside. There is Roskamp again for the Quakers. And Earlham again will work it behind the cage. Nothing new here as they try to find an opening as Krista Kirk starts to the left, back to the right. And again, she's in that new restricted area. The defender unable to go in that area. They'll wait for the Quakers to make their move. Back to the inside. Shot high, knocked down. Good save off the shot there by Meg Murphy. So Earlham did a good job finding an opening to the inside. Had a successful drive to the goal, to the point, to the shot. And then nothing there as the nice save by Sydney Vanell. So Mount St. Joe once again will head the other way. Quakers, you see, really pressuring defensively in the Mount St. Joe half, and we've got a whistle stoppage of play, and that'll go against the Quakers. And now we start the clock once again here in the first half of play. Gabriella Halfhill there on the near side, takes the check, lost the ball, double teamed, still stays in bounds, wants to give it up and does so behind, but Neighbor unable to pick it up. Turnover, Lexus Warren, and the Quakers fast break back the other way. They have numbers. Good quickness here by the Quaker offense to the inside, and the shot low and the score. That's number 7, Serena Pisacano, the freshman out of Philadelphia, with the second goal of the contest. And Earlham takes a 2-1 lead here in the first half of play. That one coming off the turnover by Mount St. Joe, and it cost him. And, boy, you can really see the quickness. Earlham, after the turnover, able to pick that ball up off the turf, and it was basically Pisacana herself doing all the work and got a one-on-one situation with the goalie. Boy, once she got into the 8-meter area, it was all over. So the Quakers take a 2-1 lead in the first half. Back to the draw. Quakers have won the majority of the draws so far, though again very early in the contest. Boy, the key there is get that ball high. If you can get to it quickly, get yourself a draw. There's a draw control, but that's going to be whistled dead. And they will say back to the Quakers, hold on, they're going to bring it back to the middle. And that's where it'll start right there, and here we go. Quakers ball once again. Here's Roskamp. Leads the conference in scoring, in points and goals so far this season, just a freshman. Could be well on her way to the Player of the Year, and there is a whistle and a foul call against Mount St. Joe. We will have a free position shot right here. Hash mark to the right. Looks like that may be Roskamp. And Roskamp makes her move, goes low, and scores low. So Roskamp able to get the goal, and the Quakers 2 quick goals now lead at 3-1 right after Mount St. Joe had come back to tie this one at 1 apiece. And Claudette Roskamp now with goal number 62 on the year. She is running away with the goals scored title this year so far, and coming in, I think she was 13 ahead of the second place score in the conference. Of course, we mentioned Emma Lady coming into this one at number 4 with 38 goals on the season. So the draw control has belonged to the Quakers so far, and now a 3-1 lead here in the first half. Roskamp back in there once again for the Quakers, and another draw control for Earlham. Pisacano came away with it. Earlham quickly will move into scoring position just inside the 12-meter. That is Pisacano behind the cage in that restricted area. To the right. Quaker is hooked to the inside. Ball is low. Shot is low by 18, Emma Lady. She misses wide to the left. Quaker is able to back that up, and they'll keep it. Here's Roskamp again. Roskamp turning, losing it. Ball checked out of her cross and picked up by Mount St. Joe. Good defense that time by Brianna Brannon. Quakers trying to force the turnover in the Mount St. Joe end. Not a good pass right there, as unable to bring it down is Ashley Costa, freshman out of Milford, Ohio. And now the goalie, Vanell, will have to bring it out herself. That's an empty net right now. Boy, you turn it over here, the Quakers have a freebie. Ball loose at midfield. Who will pick this one up? It will be Dancer, Megan Dancer, who had the goal moments ago. Looking now to advance that ball down the field, does so to Bax. Bax lost it for the moment, able to pick it up and now get it to Halfhill. Mount St. Joe now in the scoring opportunity position right here. Look to the inside, and the score is good. Nice pass to the inside. That's number 6, Brianna Brannon, the junior out of Cincinnati. And that makes it 3-2. So how about Mount St. Joe coming right back and getting a goal after giving up 2 in a row, and it's now 3-2. Lions proving they're not going away just yet in this first half. Mentioned they average just over 7 goals per game, but already have 2 against Jordan Blackburn, who comes into this one number 2 in the conference in saves with 88. But again, she's number 1 in the conference in save percentage at nearly 52%. So back to the draw once again. This is where the Quakers have had plenty of success here tonight. Not this time, as that ball goes outside the midfield circle. It is still loose, and who's going to pick it up? Eventually, for the Quakers, it's Krista Kirk. Kirk will now work it again behind the cage, just to the right side. She's going to try to see if she can find a drive to the goal. There's Alexis Warren, can't hold on to that one, and a turnover by the Quakers picked up by Ashley Costa there from Mount St. Joe. In transition now to midfield. Nice lead pass. Half hill there for the Lions. Double team goes back to the middle. That is Hocker receiving, and now will advance the ball herself. Here's Hocker. Hocker inside the 12. Bad angle to the right side, so that goes behind the cage and looks to the inside. Ball loose. Emma Lady almost able to get the takeaway. Mount St. Joe will hold on to it. That is number 6, Brianna Brannon. Brannon being very patient. She'll walk it again into the restricted area and look to set it up now for Mount St. Joe. Give them a chance to rest a little bit. Still 36 seconds on the shot clock, so still plenty of time now for Mount St. Joe. Emma Lady there on defense. Mount St. Joe, let's see if they'll try to find somebody to drive inside and find an opening the way they did in their second goal. Defending there for the Quakers, Yusra Manar. Ball loose, and we've got a whistle, and we should have a free position shot here for Mount St. Joe, and we will. 19:42 remaining in the first half. We've gone back and forth in this one, 3-2. This will be Megan Dancer from the hash mark right at the top. If she can get a good jump, gets a chance to score, went low and scored. So Megan Dancer ties this one at 3 apiece, and Dancer picks up another goal. And Mount St. Joe, who trailed early, coming back each time, and now chance to tie this one. It looks like we're going to get a timeout here in the first half of play. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, it's Earlham 3, Mount St. Joe 3. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse right here in Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Since 1994, Beach Automotive has provided motorists in the Richmond area with the most comprehensive auto repair services that include general services, car and truck care, alignment, brakes, tires, engine, transmission, and more. Their goal is simple: to offer the best services available at affordable prices to get you back on the road in no time. For a high-performance vehicle, trust Beach Automotive. To learn more, give them a call at 765-966-8181. Beach Automotive, 110 East Main Street, Richmond. At First Bank Richmond, we provide you with an excellent banking experience. Whether it's personal checking, savings, mortgage loans, consumer loans, retail lending, or trust and investments, you can count on First Bank Richmond. First Bank Richmond has been serving the Richmond area since 1887. For more information, give them a call at 962-2581 or go to their website at firstbankrichmond.com.
For the past 35 years, Van Vliet Insurance has built a reputation of bringing a personal touch. That's because at Van Vliet, it's all about you, your needs, your life, and our town. Along with providing quality coverage to individuals, families, and local businesses, we're proud of our community and the opportunity we have to protect your future within it. Van Vliet Insurance, an Erie Insurance representative. Hometown professionals at work for you.
Back once again here at Darrell Bean Stadium. There you see it, 3-3. Both teams again undefeated in the Heartland Collegiate Lacrosse Conference, and right now both teams trying to stay that way. Good first half. Dancer, a couple of goals now for Mount St. Joe. Timeout called right before we were set for another draw. Though the Quakers may be owning the draw, again the score at 3 apiece. Ross Camp will be back in for the draw for the Quakers. See if we can pick up who's on the draw on the other side. That's going to be Megan Dancer there. Ball still loose. Dancer trying to come away with it. Boy, she got some good backspin off that ball. It came right back into the netting. And the official pointing to somebody, may have been offsides on Mount St. Joe, so the Quakers will get it following the penalty right there. So now the Quakers back on offense once again. We'll see if they can get that goal back. Quakers work it again to the right wing. That is Serena Pisacano there for the Quakers. Emma Lady diving in there as Roskamp receives, went low and scored. Well, I tell you, the Quakers have been going low every time on Sydney Vidal here in the first half. And now the Quakers lead it 4-3. So Earlham didn't waste a whole lot of time coming right back and picking up yet another goal. And they'll tie this, or I should say take the lead at 4-3 after this one was tied just moments ago at 3 apiece. Emma Lady able to take herself through, got a chance to create a little space inside there for the leading scorer, Claudette Roskamp. And once Claudette received it, she kind of had to turn away from 2 defenders, and once she did, it was clear one-on-one again against the goalie. So another draw here for both these teams. The ball to the far side, and who will eventually pick this one up? In fact, they stopped the game right there for just a moment. Here we go again. It'll be Quaker ball. Earlham having a tough time picking that one up. That's Emma Lady. Able to bring that one up off the turf. Lead pass will find Pisacano, and now Serena work it behind the cage once again in that restricted area. Defending on the near side was Paige Neighbor. Now she'll switch off to the right. Quakers look to the inside. Roskamp went low again, and another one. How about Claudette Roskamp? Yet another goal. And they have found now a little bit of a hole in that goalie. Sydney Vanell here in the first half, unable to handle that low shot twice now in a row for Claudette Roskamp, who is now having one heck of a night for the Quakers. So now back-to-back goals by Claudette Roskamp, who continues to pour on the record scoring here in her freshman year for the Quakers, and now it's 5-3. And by the way, Earlham looking for their 9th win of the season as well. But more importantly, trying to go to 3-0 in conference play here tonight. Back to the draw once again. They may do it again here as the official stops it immediately. That one kind of squirted out of there. And they got to place it in there just right. Of course, much different from the men's contest. And the men's game of lacrosse, these two are just like night and day in everything that they do. Face off in the men, the Erica Bear do it again. They're going to give this one to the Quakers. They call the violation against number 13, Olivia Hocker. So Hocker guilty of the infraction on the draw, so the Quakers back on offense once again. And now the official blowing that one dead one more time. A lot of stoppages here in this one. I think that maybe Mount St. Joe had one too many players. So they have to move one back again near midfield around the 30-yard line. A little bit out of your picture there. They're going to reset the shot clock as well back to 90. That's Pisacano there for the Quakers. We're coming up on the 18-minute mark here in the first half. We've had a pretty good one so far. 2 teams undefeated. Meg Murphy has that one come out of her cross for the moment, able to scoop that one up in the restricted area, and the Quakers work it back behind once again. Good look here at Krista Kirk. Kirk surveying to the inside. What might be there? Here's Emma Lady. Lady at the 12. Lady shifting to the left hand, now back to the right. Tried to dodge her way to the inside. Nothing there as Emma Lickert there, the sophomore out of Centerville, Ohio, on defense. And the Quakers now have the shot clock down to 46. Back behind the cage again, that's Roskamp. She'll draw a crowd, but mostly there is Megan Dancer. Roskamp now to the left. Roskamp trying to make a move back to her left. Roskamp went high, and it goes over the cage. As behind the cage was Pisacano, but it looks like we might have a free position shot here for the Quakers. First time we've probably seen all night long where Roskamp went high on the shot attempt. So Roskamp will have the free position shot. One of the hash marks out front. Claudette went low. That one bounces off the pipe off the left. Ball is free for anyone to pick up, and eventually Mount St. Joe comes away with it. That was Emma Lickert there for Mount St. Joe. That was a heck of a shot, though, by Roskamp. And now we have two players running into each other here on the near side. And see who that'll go over to. That may go against the Quakers, and it will. That was number 16, Raven Thibodeau there, the senior out of Alaska Anchorage. Ball goes out of bounds. Turnover for Mount St. Joe. They're going to have to control the ball in offense once they get it much better. They're not going to get a ton of possessions. If the Quakers make those adjustments, they'll need to at halftime, but then the Quakers turn it over right there. Here's Hocker. Hocker will try to set it up now for Mount St. Joe. She is now in the critical scoring area right here as Earlham stays man-to-man. And, of course, keep an eye on that young lady right there, Megan Dancer. Dancer goes low, and wait a minute, before the shot, and looks like we're going to have a free position shot right here. That's the second time we have seen a Mount St. Joe goal get taken away because of the penalty against the Quakers. And so a free position shot now for Mount St. Joe. Once the official says they can go, he'll blow the whistle, and then we'll get action right here. Here's Dancer. Dancer went high, and there's a nice save by Blackburn. Anticipated it well. She kept her net up high and gets the save. And now we'll look downfield to Alexis Warren, who takes a shot from behind, and that's going to be a push on Ashley Costa there for Mount St. Joe. One thing they look for is anybody that extends those arms and checks another player in women's lacrosse. That is a no-no. So now the Quakers back the other way. Good look here at Meg Murphy. Murphy losing it. Ball is loose. And this will go back over now to Mount St. Joe as we come up on the 15-minute mark here in the first half of play. Near side is Hocker, and she takes a shot from behind. I don't think it was intended to be a hard shot right there. She went down hard, though. Emma Lady was there, one of 2 to 3 different players there for the Quakers, including Meg Murphy. And there's a turnover. Bad pass on the near side intended for number 8, Halfhill. Gabriella Halfhill, the midi defender, the sophomore out of Liberty Township, Ohio, unable to get that one. But the Quakers come right back, turn it over themselves, and now a battle for the loose ball right at around midfield. And it'll go back over again to Mount St. Joe. Halfhill reversing direction to the inside, now looks for Hocker. Hocker, lead pass. Now into the critical scoring area here for Mount St. Joe. That is Brandon, who will now slow things up for Mount St. Joe and set it up in the half here for the Lions. Imagine they would look for Megan Dancer. We haven't heard much so far from Joy Glacken, the senior. And that violation against Mount St. Joe, as the Quakers will go back on offense. And there is Roskamp once again for the Quakers. Lead pass in and out of the netting of Murphy, but Murphy able to pick that one up. And now we got a foul call right there. That won't stop the play, and now we will. That's a warning against Joy Glacken. We just said something about Glacken a second ago, and she is not happy with the call at all. So Quakers work their way past midfield. There is Krista Kirk. Earlham, 2 passes, and they're already in the critical scoring area. That is Emma Lady. Emma behind the cage once again. Emma now works her way to the inside. Here's Alexis Warren, and Alexis Warren will score, and the Quakers add another goal and now lead this one 6-3. Heck of a pass, that time by number 18, Emma Lady, and Alexis Warren picks up the goal. And we've got a timeout, I do believe. We do. Second timeout of the first half. 13 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. And Earlham, after this one was tied at 3 apiece, now leads it 6-3. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond. Are you looking for the right place to work out? A place where you have several choices and can have fun at the same time? Well, that place is right here in Richmond, Family Fitness Works. Family Fitness Works has spinning, Zumba, kickboxing, core works, kick fit, body pump, body flow, and much, much more. And don't forget, Family Fitness Works also has Richmond's most extensive free weights and Nautilus in the area. Check out their website at familyfitness.com or stop by at 213 North 3rd Street in Richmond.
Best One Tire and Service has been committed to our partners since 1948. With more than 250 locations in 26 states, Best One puts over 1 million tires on the road every year. Superior tires, expert service, competitive prices. Best One Tire and Service, where the best costs less.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark with Best One of Richmond. Because Best One is one of Bridgestone's largest retailers, we offer exclusive Bridgestone savings. Visit us in Richmond to save on Bridgestone tires today.
Well, Earlham, 3 consecutive goals, now leading at 6-3 back here at Darrell Bean Stadium. As Earlham has put together solid offensive attack over this first few minutes. In fact, you're looking at the last 17 minutes. They've opened up, played very well. I give Mount St. Joe credit. Every time up until these last couple of goals, they have been able to bounce back. But so far, Earlham now starting to pull away a little bit here in the first half of play. And we're back to the draw once again. Roskamp has had a good night at the draw so far. That one is Megan Dancer for Mount St. Joe, and that ball scooped up off the turf by Halfhill. Let's see Mount St. Joe. There's a check from behind. And that was a hard check. That may have been Roskamp, or is that number 9? That's going to be Krista Kirk there, who picks up the foul there for the Quakers. Lickert looking back to the middle. And here come the Lions themselves. We mentioned a little bit ago that Joy Glacken, the senior, has not been heard from so far here tonight. She has been very quiet offensively. That one goes high. The shot that time by Halfhill. And that will sail over the cage. And once again, Mount St. Joe will now work this one behind the cage as the Lions try to make this a 2-goal deficit right here. That is Hocker. Shot clock still at 30. Plenty of time here for Mount St. Joe. Hocker trying to find an opening. We'll pass it now to Brannon. Brannon to the outside, makes her move, dumps it once again. There's the shot by Dancer, and that'll stop the clock right there. And we may have, see what they call here. We've got a what? Yellow card. And that's going to be Dancer coming out, so that's a big loss right there for Mount St. Joe. So Dancer heading over. to the penalty area where she'll have to sit for a little bit. First yellow of the evening. So now the Quakers able to receive the ball back after the yellow, and here come the Quakers. They'll be man up in this one. Chance to go on the power play right here. Let's see if they'll now put this one in the goal and make it a 7-3 contest. That is Krista Kirk once again working behind the cage. She's defended there by Neighbor. Kirk loses it. Good defense by Neighbor as Paige Neighbor able to take that one away, the freshman out of Leveland, Ohio. And a whistle stopping play for just a moment, and that means that Mount St. Joe will keep it after that minor infraction against the Quakers. Mount St. Joe's, we come up on the 11-minute mark. Working in their own end, will try to get it back to midfield. You see the goalie making a dangerous pass. Pisacano trying to get it there and picked up off the turf by Halfhill. Now for Mount St. Joe. Halfhill triple teamed on the near side, and the official says, nope, can't do that. So the penalty against the Quakers. Earlham, you know somebody was open right there with a triple team as the ball goes to midfield. Here's Neighbor. Neighbor working her way to the far side. The check there by Roskamp. Ball loose in front of the cage, and the whistle blows that one dead, and it'll go back over to Earlham. We will see Megan Dancer come back in the lineup shortly. Earlham crowd wanted a foul call there and a hard check. You're not supposed to be able to check like that. A lot of times they'll just call it on the extension of the arms and keep an eye on it right there, but no call that time. Back into the critical scoring area now for Mount St. Joe, and they lose it. Picked up off the turf by Becca Belcher. And the Quakers can attack from behind their own cage as you get a look here at the near side. Unable to pick that one up as Pisacano. It goes out of bounds and over to Mount St. Joe. So the Quakers with a turnover. And back once again as Halfhill will bring it in herself on the near side. Defending there is Krista Kirk, also on the chase, Pisacano. Change in the line there for Mount St. Joe. Let's see if we can pick up who came into the lineup. That's number 25. That is Sarah Winstead, senior out of Ross, Ohio. Here on the near side is that's number 6, which is Brianna Brannon. Now working it behind the cage. Defended by McCullough for the Quakers. Shot clock still at 54. No hurry there. That ball knocked down. Good job there by the keeper. Goalie Jordan Blackburn able to knock that one out of the stick that time. And the Quakers able to bring it back after another turnover, and it'll be Blackburn who will put it in play for the Quakers. Here's a stick-on-stick as Maya Claggett once again there for the Quakers. And they'll make him bring it back once again and reset the position. And Claggett will look toward the middle. Here is Roskamp. Roskamp quickly down the field will find Krista Kirk. And the Quakers chance to put another goal on the board. Here's Murphy. Murphy on the left wing into the restricted area behind the goal. That is Alexis Warren. Shifting to the right side, Vanell there for Mount St. Joe. Here again will be, that's going to be 22, Alexis Warren. Warren unable to hold on to it clean, so once she does pick it up, back behind the cage. That is Pisacano there for the Quakers. Here's Roskamp. Roskamp to the inside, wide to the left of the pipe. Roskamp went down. Ball stays with the Quakers. That's a pretty good look by Roskamp trying to pick up another goal. Here is the spin by Alexis Warren to the inside. Ball loose, and the Quakers will keep it. That's McCullough. Sloppy play right here. 5 on the shot clock. McCullough losing it, and we have a delayed call right there. And we may very well have ourselves a free position shot, and that bailed the Quakers out because that shot clock was down his last couple of seconds. So Earlham, in fact, it was down to 1. It will be McCullough on the hash mark to the right. On the free position shot, bouncing in and scores. Free position shot goal for the Quakers once again. It's now 7-3. 4 unanswered goals by the Quakers. It didn't really even look like McCullough had a whole lot of steam on that shot, but bounced it just enough to get it by the goalie, and the Quakers now lead it by 4. I'm not sure, but at least it seems like at this point the Quakers have scouted enough to know that maybe Sydney Vanell has a tough time with these shots going low and bouncing, because she really hasn't been able to stop any of those on a consistent basis here tonight. Back once again to the draw. Quakers win yet another draw. But then the check from behind. Nice job by Megan Dancer. And Dancer on a full run, able to pick that one up off the turf following the turnover. And then back the other way, Claggett intercepts that one in midair. Claggett to the inside. Claggett looking ahead. Shot and the save by Vanell. Good action there by the Quakers offensively as they got into scoring position quickly. And Earlham really looking good here tonight in the passing department. There's another loose ball. Alexis Warren able to pick that one up off the turf. And now we see a player go down for Mount St. Joe. That's number 7, Paige Neighbor. And everybody will transition. And we got a stoppage of the clock here at 6 minutes and 14 seconds. And they may... Look like Neighbor may have been shaken up a little bit, but looks like she is now okay. So Mount St. Joe back on offense. Here's Costa. Costa looking back to the middle. That one is up for grabs. Who will come down with it? Eventually picked up there by Meg Murphy. Quakers near side to Belcher. Belcher looking ahead. Once again, here's Roskamp. Roskamp. Emma Lady. Lady to the inside. Lady stops, looks for her teammate to the right, ball loose, and that will go behind the cage. There's Roskamp again. Roskamp trying to maneuver to the inside. She's outside the 12 right now. And just to the top, and the Quakers will now settle down and reset here. They'll settle the offense as we come up on the 5-minute mark. Good look at McCullough behind the cage. Defended there by Neighbor. Earlham again will work it to the near side. That's Pisacano, backs it away. 35 on the shot clock. To the inside, Roskamp makes her move, lost it, picks it up off the turf. Back to the inside, ball knocked down. Good defense by Halfhill. Ball is now up in the air and then picked up by the goalie, Vanell. And Earlham with a turnover. Back over to Mount St. Joe's. They'll try to work it here on the near sideline. Quakers 4 unanswered. Ball is loose all the way past midfield and eventually will go out of bounds on the near side. Turnover Mount St. Joe. Halftime, we'll try to run down those first half numbers for you as Roskamp advances it now for the Quakers. That is Serena Pisacano there for the Quakers, who will cradle that one and work it behind the cage once again just to the right. They're defended by Costa. Quakers dive 2 players to the inside. The second one able to pick that one in the air. That's Meg Murphy. Earlham sent 2 in a row. And now it is Krista Kirk, and we have that's going to go against Kirk. They're going to get her for basically an offensive foul right there, and now a stoppage of the clock. One of the players for Mount St. Joe ends up losing her goggles. I'm not sure if she didn't catch one in the face, so she is out. That is number 8, Halfhill, who's been very active, but she's on her way to the sidelines. I don't know if she caught an elbow or what the case may be, but they quickly get her to the sidelines, make sure she's okay. I know she had ended up losing her goggles. And now the trainer on the sidelines will see if she's okay. We don't know. Again, it is too far away for us to really tell, but it almost looked like it was something up around the head area. Had to have been if you lose your goggles in that situation. And now Mount St. Joe will have the final 3:45 to go to try to get another goal. They've been scoreless for quite a while, so the Quakers have scored 4 unanswered. Ball is in the possession of Neighbor across midfield. Neighbor, good job evading defenders. Lead pass there for Brannon. Brannon trying to work it to the outside. Takes a check from behind by Emma Lady. It'll stay here with Mount St. Joe, and there's the one player. Megan Dancer's had a pretty good first half, and the Quakers keep an eye on her. We're still waiting to see if Joy Glacken will come alive offensively, and so far that has not been the case. Glacken wearing number 22, and that is Glacken with the ball. Glacken had worked it behind the cage and now on the left wing. Glacken just outside the 18. Or take that back, that is the 12. And once again, Mount St. Joe to the top. Glacken. Boy, winding up was Dancer like she was going to shoot it from the 12, which is very rare to shoot it that deep. And making the move, double team. Quakers, good defense. Ball loose, and we've got a whistle. And will we have a free position shot right here? So the Quakers have kept Glacken in check. But this will be a free position shot by Glacken off of the hash mark to the left. First time, I believe, that Glacken has had a free position shot. You see McCullum make a move to the left to reposition. Shot is good. Glacken, there she is. Well, we talked about her enough. You figured at some point the leading scorer on the team was going to get a chance, and she does so on the free position shot, and it's now 7-4. So Mount St. Joe gets on the board with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Glacken entered today's contest with a team best 11, but Dancer has a couple of goals herself. So each of those two players with 12 goals now, and it's down to a 7-4 lead. And back to the draw where it's been all Earlham so far here tonight. And one of the reasons why is number 8, Claudette Roskamp. The freshman has dominated the draw so far here tonight, even with one of the best on the other side, and Megan Dancer. Ball picked up by Pisacano. She scoops that one up off the turf. Pisacano to the inside. Roskamp goes low and scores again. And how quickly the Quakers can get down the field and score. They showed it right there, and Roskamp does it again. And Pisacano did a great job looking behind, and Roskamp was in position. And Earlham gets that goal back with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Boy, the way Roskamp is going this year, and I remind you, after tonight, you still have 3 games remaining. They go to Franklin, which is certainly a very winnable game. They have struggled this year. They've only played 4. And then you go to Transylvania. That's going to be the one to watch. And then Thomas More is still in there, so the Quakers should win at the 2. And then, of course, the Transylvania matchup will be the one to watch. So the Quakers another draw control once again. Roskamp Now backs it up near the 12. And Pisacano receives and turns and scores again. Boy, she didn't waste any time right there. Pisacano receives and then just turns and shoots it. And you don't see that very often. Many times players will look and kind of survey the goalie to see where their position is, but not that time. As Serena Pisacano there, the freshman out of Philadelphia, just turned and fired and zipped it right by the goalie, and the Quakers come back with two of their own. 9-5 here, and we still have 1:49 as quickly as that was scored. And again, that happened right off of the draw. Don't be surprised if the Quakers don't win it again and get back in a position to get another goal. This is a high-octane offense going here tonight for the Quakers, and of course they've scored 15 in their last two contests, so scoring certainly isn't an issue right now for the Quakers. Mount St. Joe in possession. That is Hocker. Bad pass over the outstretched stick that time of Brannon, but Brannon able to race to it and pick it up to the far side. 1:20 to go. See if Mount St. Joe, if they can get one final look before the half runs out. They've really slowed the pace down. Neither team has a bunch of players off the bench. In fact, Earlham may have one, and Mount St. Joe, they have just one, and that's their injured player. In fact, I don't see anybody on the Earlham bench right now. Working her way to the right side is Brannon. Brannon, and we've got a whistle. Able to get the stop there for the Quakers, Jordan Blackburn, but we've got another free position shot here for Mount St. Joe. They did score just a few moments ago on a free position shot. So Brannon, hash mark right. So Brannon will make her move, went low, Blackburn with a save, and Blackburn able to pick it up off the turf. Thibodeau there for the Quakers as well, the senior out of Alaska Anchorage. Boy, what a pass all the way down. Emma Lady receiving, and Emma sprinting her way into the critical scoring area now for the Quakers, but then loses it, and then it's picked up by Dancer. And another turnover, this time stolen away by Pisacano. Pisacano makes her move, hit out of her stick, ball loose, she goes down. And who's going to get the penalty here? That was number 17 who went down, Emma Lickert, out of Centerville, Ohio. We've got a free position shot now for the Quakers, and it will be Pisacano from the hash mark at the top. Chance here for the Quakers. Official is checking her stick to make sure it is okay, but I don't know if she has some blood on her, and they may check it. So Pisacano, they're going to send her to the sidelines, it appears. We don't know, again, if there's some blood on her hand or her finger, what the case may be, but she goes all the way to the sideline to see the trainer. The trainer's been busy. She's still working on Gabriella Halfhill, who is sitting on the bench. They've been working on her for a while. So now coming in will be number 17, Theo Hunt. So Theo will come in for the free position shot. And Earlham unable to execute there. Ball behind the cage. Still a chance here with 7 seconds remaining. Here is Emma Lady. Emma looks to pass to the inside, turns it over, stolen away by Brannon, and that's going to do it as we come to the end of the first half of play. We've gone back and forth. The Quakers have answered so far every goal that had been scored by Mount St. Joe in the first half. We will come back with your halftime report coming up in just a couple of moments on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Earlham 9, Mount St. Joe 5. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hey, this is Steve, and out of Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
Hey, if you're looking for a great place to dine, how about Little Sheba's? Come join them in Richmond at 175 Fort Wayne Avenue and grab one of their gourmet pizzas, a deluxe sandwich, steak or fresh salad, and an ice-cold beer or your favorite wine. Featuring live music every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, and more in their smoke-free environment. You can get a 10% discount with a valid student ID. It's better than being home. For more information about Little Sheba's, give them a call at 962-2999. Finding a used car dealership you can trust is not an easy thing to do, but for me, the choice was almost too easy. How about Tony's Car Sales in Richmond? Hi, this is Troy Narangowski. You know, I purchased my last 2 cars from Tony's, and I couldn't have been happier with their service. They didn't pressure me, and they worked me through the entire process. Hey, if you're in the market for a great used vehicle, get to Tony's Car Sales in Richmond, 250 National Road West. For more information, give them a call at 962-5665 or go to their website, tonyscarsales.com.
I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
At Harrington Hogue, we believe your life belongs to you. That's why we work hard to make sure that your insurance coverage is the last thing you have to worry about. So when it comes to keeping you protected,
We got this.
New Vision Sports is a program that will focus on the training and improvement of the serious-minded athlete. It includes all ages and skill levels. They'll create a customized workout plan to provide an ongoing motivation and support program that'll help you achieve your training goals. There are 3 reasons to train with New Vision Sports: variety, specificity, and accountability. New Vision Sports. Give them a call at 977-5831 or go to their website, newvisionsports.com. That's New Vision Sports with a Z.
As an internet service provider, Parallax Systems offers reliable residential high-speed internet service and business service. With a fiber backbone reaching over 150 miles, we have created a multifaceted delivery system. Our dark fiber leasing has proved beneficial to public and private sectors alike. Parallax serves Wayne County and surrounding areas. Parallax Systems, when speed matters, a division of Richmond Power and Light.
As Earlhamites, when we set our minds to do something, we see it through.
Because when we strive to do what's right,
we believe ways will open for us.
It's why we design inclusive playgrounds and innovative transportation solutions.
Why we work to solve water crises and pioneer new technology.
Why we commit to bridging gaps and exploring the unexpected.
It's why we stay curious.
Why we insist on better answers.
Because at Earlham,
we don't see the world as a project. We see it as our purpose.
And we recognize our own potential in making this earth more beautiful,
more just,
and more peaceful for everyone.
Earlham College.
Always moving forward.
At the Reed Orthopedic Center, our physicians and support team devote themselves to helping you return to a healthy and active lifestyle. Our expertise includes shoulder, elbow, foot, ankle, hand, wrist, hip, and knee injuries, as well as pain management and rehabilitation and school athletic training programs and sports medicine. We are committed to providing you with the best possible orthopedic treatment that we can. To request an appointment at the Reed Orthopedic Center, call 765-935-8905.
We're back here at Darrell Bean Stadium. We have been trying to pick up the live stats, and it appears, at least from what I can tell, we are unable to receive them here. We tried a couple of times to see if they're coming up, and if you go to the Earlham website, earlham.com, it is showing, at least at this point, that, the event hasn't started, which we know isn't true, and the data hasn't come through yet either, so maybe we can get a paper feed at some point and try to run those down. If we don't get them here at the halftime, we'll try to get them for you coming up in the second half of play. Again, after today, the Quakers will travel to Franklin. That is a 10-day. In fact, this is a long stretch where the Quakers will not play. A 10-day stretch between today and the next match on the road at Franklin on April the 20th. Then they'll travel to Transylvania. That's the one to watch next, as Transylvania, very, very, very good team, especially at home. And so that'll be the one that may decide the Quakers winning the HCLC or not. And so mark that down for April the 24th. Quakers will play one more time at home against Thomas More, and that'll be the senior day. That is April the 27th. Now, if the Quakers qualify, and they very well may, for the HCLC championship, the semis will be May 3rd, and then the championship will be on May the 4th. So you just got to finish in the top four, but I'd certainly love to see the Quakers win it, be the number one seed in the tournament this year. We will come back right now. Earlham with a 9-5 lead. The second half is coming up in just a couple of moments. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse right here in Radio Troy Digital Sport.
We check them better. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle is fully inspected and reconditioned by ASE and factory-trained technicians. And each Better Buy vehicle comes with a Carfax vehicle history report, so you know you can buy a vehicle with confidence. We back them better with a 3-day satisfaction guarantee. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified comes with a 3-day or 300-mile satisfaction guarantee. If you don't like it within that 3 days or 300 miles, just bring it back and we'll exchange it for a vehicle of equal value. Every Wetzel Better Buy certified vehicle comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We price them better. We have dedicated individuals searching the entire country for the highest quality, lowest price vehicles for our inventory. In today's competitive market, we're constantly monitoring vehicle values to ensure that we're offering the best prices possible. We guarantee that every Wetzel Better Buy vehicle is the highest quality used car or truck around. Our reconditioning process guarantees that you are getting a vehicle as close to brand new as possible, and our warranties back that up.
Mendenhall's True Value in Richmond is your local source for the things you need at home or your business every day. Everything from hardware, tools, carpet cleaner rentals, window and screen repair, lawn and garden supplies, as well as hunting and fishing licenses. It's all in one place at Mendenhall's True Value Hardware, right around the corner at 125 Southwest 5th Street in Richmond. Give them a call for more information at 962-4842. Today's game is being brought to you by Tri-County Awards in Richmond. Customized awards and quality engraving services. When you come to Tri-County Awards, you'll get nothing but the best customer service. We take pride in our prompt service and easy availability. Celebrate success with a gorgeous medal, trophy, or plaque from Tri-County Awards. We've been crafting awards since 1972. Choose from a wide variety of designs and styles. We're a locally owned and family-operated business. Tri-County Awards, 1001 South East Street in Richmond. After the unexpected, expect us. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance of Fayette, Rush, Union, Decatur, and Shelby counties. Auto, home, life, renters, farm, crop, and business coverage. Coverage you need in a language you know. We take customer satisfaction seriously and don't take a cookie-cutter approach to your coverage. For more information, call 800-723-3276 or go to their website, in.farmbureau.com.
At Earlham College, we all share something special.
We care about each other and the world we're building together.
We meet on the Heart, the center of campus, where we hang out and support each other's endeavors.
You won't find fraternities or sororities here. We value an inclusive community that embraces our individual and cultural differences.
Prepare to get involved. We are community builders
Status quo challengers.
and advocates for social change.
That's our community. That's Earlham.
We're back once again here at Darrell Bean Stadium as we get ready for the second half. Quakers 9-5 leaders here at the half, and now 30 minutes away for Earlham, moving to 3-0 in the HCLC. As we will change sides, and now Mount St. Joe will attack from right to left for the Quakers once again. Get a look at Claudette Roskamp. On the other side, it'll be Megan Dancer. And this will go over to the Lions after the officials stop play for just a moment. Thought maybe we had a redraw, but that's not going to be the case. So again, Mount St. Joe. And that's the one player, Glacken, we talked about, finally got a goal there in the first half. The Quakers had kept her in check for the most part. Earlham's defense playing well as they look the double team on the left side against Hocker. That is Glacken once again as Glacken gives it up, and there is Dancer. Dancer and Glacken, the two leading scorers. They want to get the ball in their possession as much as they possibly can here in the second half. The wind starting to pick up a little bit more. In fact, the Lions will be advancing the ball into the wind in the second half. Didn't bother the Quakers too much in the first half. 36 seconds on the shot clock. Mount St. Joe working it now to Brannon. Brannon behind the cage. Let's see if she'll try to drive the goal from there. She will not. She gave it up and gets it right back. And now Brannon makes her move and looks to the inside on a high pass. And we may have ourselves our first free position shot of the second half of play. That was a pretty good give and go right there, but unfortunately the pass was just a little bit too high. And now we have another. Clock is still running. They put it down to 28:39. We're going to move it down there as well. I should say both teams are trying to jockey for position. Hash mark on the right. Now for Mount St. Joe on the free position shot. And that's going to be a goal right off of the hash mark. And again, there is the first goal of the second half. And this time, number 8, it's going to be Halfhill, who had been out of action for the later stages of that first half because of an injury, but she is back in. And Mount St. Joe now cutting the deficit down to 3. So good start for the Lions to begin the second half. Every time, though, that the Lions have been able to come back with a goal or two in a row, which they did at one point to tie this one at 3 apiece, Earlham has come right back and scored immediately. And many times it happens right here off the draw. Roskamp, also there is Dancer. Roskamp reaching high, able to knock it down to the turf, scoops it up herself. Here's Emma Lady. Emma looking for an angle to the inside, now backs it away, and Earlham will reset it. This is Pisacano now for the Quakers. That's a smart play that time by Emma Lady. There was nothing there. Quakers want to make a good possession after giving up the goal. As Roskamp settles once again behind the cage, and now to the left side. Roskamp able to cradle that ball. The women's net is much smaller. There's a nice pass diving to the inside for the Quakers, but unable to handle it is Meg Murphy. Ball still loose and eventually picked up off the turf that time by Megan Dancer. Nice execution, just not finished for the Quakers. Dancer double teamed and now dumps it behind to the goalie. That will enable the Lions to get some free space here. Kind of a cold night, the wind blowing. We saw temperatures a couple of days ago near 80, but down to the lower 60s today, and the wind blowing, and we're supposed to go back to 80 tomorrow. And then the weekend back into the 50s. Been a weird spring so far. Quakers. Here's McCullough. McCullough loses it. Started to make her move, but then lost it. Regains possession. And now the Quakers working behind the cage once again. McCullough, nothing there. So in the restricted area, Pisacano. Pisacano looking to see what might be available as no one making a move. Not a lot of offense to the inside for the Quakers until right there. And for the Quakers to the inside and the low score, and Earlham on the board. This time it'll be Roskamp. Good job by the Quakers. Roskamp picks up another goal. And the Quakers now lead this one 10-6. That was a great pass. Back to the inside. I'm not sure if I thought that was Krista Kirk who had passed it. Claudette has a few fans here tonight as they give her kudos from the sidelines. I'm pretty sure that was Krista Kirk who made that great pass back to the inside. We were talking about the Quakers, not a whole lot of movement on that possession, and right when we said that, next thing you know, they had two cutters, and if you get Roskamp in an open space right in front of the cage, she's going to put it in there. So now back to the draw. We don't have the official numbers on the draw, but Earlham has been pretty dominant so far in the draw here tonight. They haven't lost very many as Earlham back once again in possession. There's Pisacano for the Quakers. Coming up on the 26-minute mark. Let me mention again a little bit ago, the Quakers coming right back, getting a goal after Mount St. Joe had put a goal on the board. In fact, we think we put up one too many. It should be 10-5, not 10-6. As Earlham again working it to the outside. Pisacano, right wing. Pisacano back to the inside. Pisacano went low and blocked. A nice save inside by Vinell, the goalie. And coming away with it will be Olivia Hocker. We're still looking to see if those live stats are coming up, and they still are not there, so we apologize for that. We haven't been able to bring those up so far here tonight. Unless they're there now, we'll check one more time. If not, I don't think they're going to be there. So we come up on 25 minutes remaining here in the second half. Mount St. Joe back into the critical scoring area themselves. They quickly hustle into position, and we've got another whistle, and we should have a free position shot right here. I mentioned the wind really starting to pick up here tonight. It was getting very, very cold by the time that we got here, and the wind picking up as the sun went down. As Mount St. Joe back to the middle. There is Hocker. Hocker took the pass that time from Glacken. Not a good possession. That came off of the free position shot. Not executed very well by the Lions. So now Mount St. Joe will set things up here in the second half. Quakers, third straight game. They've scored 10-plus goals coming off the two in which they picked up 15 against Bethany and 15 against Anderson. Hocker. Low shot picked up there as the Quakers. Very good goalie again in Jordan Blackburn, able to stay low on that shot. Ball loose at midfield, then eventually picked up by Emma Lady. Looks to the near side. Here is Krista Kirk. Kirk, as you see right there, working it up the right side. And Kirk will eventually get into that restricted area where she will now set things up for the Quakers. Watch for the dive right there, and nothing for Emma Lady. She now goes to the left, back to Roskamp. Roskamp receives, turns, left hand no, and we've got a whistle. Free position shot again for the Quakers, and Roskamp there for Earlham. And Roskamp makes her move low and scores. So Roskamp does it again, and it's almost like taking candy from a baby when she gets that free position shot. And the Quakers now lead this one 11-5, and we've got another timeout. First timeout, should say, of the second half. And on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Earlham on top of this one, 11-5.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you were born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf and I approve this message.
Are you looking for the right place to work out, a place where you have several choices and can have fun at the same time? Well, that place is right here in Richmond, Family Fitness Works. Family Fitness Works has spinning, Zumba, kickboxing, core works, kick fit, body pump, body flow, and much, much more. And don't forget, Family Fitness Works also has Richmond's most extensive free weights and Nautilus in the area. Check out their website at familyfitness.com or stop by at 213 North 3rd Street in Richmond. Georgia Direct is your one-stop source for floor coverings and decorating ideas for remodeling a home, office, kitchen, or bathroom. Their showroom offers quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Armstrong, Craft Made, and many more. They proudly offer Richmond the best quality and variety of home design solutions at competitive prices. At Georgia Direct, their goal is to deliver an outstanding customer experience from selection through installation. Georgia Direct Carpets and Cabinets, 5200 National Road East, Richmond.
Now, Quakers lead at 11-5 back here at Darrell Bean Stadium as Earlham found good position to move their record to 3-0 in the HCLC and send Mount St. Joe to a 1-1 record in the conference. We talked about the Lions coming in. They don't play well on the road, at least from a record standpoint. Only 1-3 on the season on the road. Back to the draw. Won easily that time by Mount St. Joe. Half Hill there for the Lions. Back to the middle. Here's Dancer. Dancer trying to maneuver herself above the 12. Nice move to the inside. Dancer goes low, saved by Blackburn. That's a heck of a move by Dancer, but Blackburn able to anticipate that shot going low. Ball is loose around midfield, and we've got a stoppage of play right there. We may have ourselves a yellow. We will. So there is a yellow against. Let's see who they're going to give that against. It goes against the Lions. It may be number 6, Brianna Brannon. Well, wait a minute. Let me see who they put over in the box. That's going to be number 2. That's Ashley Costa. So it's Costa, not Brannon. Number 2, not number 6. Second time we've seen a yellow here for Mount St. Joe's. The Quakers up the right sideline. There is Pisacano. Pisacano near side. And now works it to the right. Nice pass to the inside. Roskamp high this time and scores. Boy, Pisacano just set it up and then waited for Roskamp to work down the middle. And Roskamp scores yet another goal, and the Quakers now opening up a 7-point lead here in the second half. Well, the one thing about being a defender, you've really got to keep your head on a swivel, and Earlham had a man-up advantage power play situation, and they took full advantage of it. Now we're even strength again with Ashley Costa back in, so the Quakers score on the power play. And Earlham now in command with a draw once again with Dancer at midfield. Will they redraw? They will not. They'll call that against the Quakers, as that was against Roskamp. And so the penalty gives the ball back over to Mount St. Joe, and now we'll run the clock. Here we go. Here's Dancer. Well, too little, too late, even if the Lions get Glacken going, which they thought maybe they would. Got that goal off of a free position shot, but that has been pretty much it. They've kept her in check. That is Brannon behind the cage. Now Brannon to make her move. Brannon turns, fires, misses to the right, went low on the shot. Blackburn anticipated it. Right of the pipe, and we have a whistle again. .21:47 now remaining in the second half. Mount St. Joe will have it following the penalties. They'll be behind the cage. Starting to make the move is Glacken, but nothing there. Glacken stays on the left wing. Glacken drawing the double team. The Quakers able to get the ball out of her net, and it'll be Hocker. Here's Hocker at the top. Hocker starts to make her move to the right side. Good defense there by the Quakers, forcing her outside of the 12-meter line. Ball goes high, knocked down. Roskamp there, ball still loose, and picked up by the Quakers. Turnover, Mount St. Joe, and here come the Quakers back the other way, quickly past midfield. Earlham trying to work again in transition and pick up a quick goal right here. Emma Lady to the inside, and we've got a free position shot for the Quakers. It's almost like a fast break in basketball, and the opposing team reaches out and grabs, because right there, Emma Lady had a chance to score. There's the bounce. It goes off the pipe to the right on the shot. Pisacano picks it up. Her shot wide to the left as well. Earlham's going to keep it behind the cage. Eventually picked up by Theo Hunt. Here is Emma Lady again. Emma takes the check, turns, gets between two defenders, and they're going to call that against. Is it going to be Mount St. Joe or will be the Quakers? I thought it was Emma Lady who got checked to the turf. And now the two officials talking about what each saw. It'll be a, well, they're going to call that against the Lions, I believe, right there. So it should be a free position shot for Emma Lady. Or are they just going to give possession back to the Quakers? So it's going to be the Quakers with the possession. No free position shot. But they move Emma behind into the restricted area, which is new this year in women's lacrosse. So now Emma will make her move. Emma on the left side, she will too draw a double team. There's no way to get by both of them unless she can kind of squirt between them, but they both kept an eye on her all the way. One of it was number 17, which is Emma Lickert. Quakers will play behind the cage once again. Pisacano now. Pisacano diving to the inside, went low and scored again. Wow. So the Quakers now lead at 13-5 here in the second half. That was almost too easy. In fact, it's getting to the point where you expect Roskamp to get to the inside, and everybody's been passing well so far here tonight. Crowd very quiet all of a sudden. They're almost to the point maybe they're getting a little spoiled by all the goals scored by number 8, Claudette Roskamp. And just imagine, she's only a freshman. The way she's going, she could see some All-American type credentials by the time this season's over with. Especially if the Quakers can make the postseason. Another draw, one right there by the Quakers. There's Claggett. In fact, I think when I saw it earlier, she's one of the top scorers in the nation. And here she comes again. Wait a minute, they're going to wave that one off. And we may see another free position shot right here. The Quakers didn't get the last one. Nope, they're going to say that is not the case. Back over again to Mount St. Joe. So the violation against the Quakers. Here come the Lions. There for the Quakers, Thibodeau able to scoop that one up as the ball goes out of bounds on the far side of the field. See if that'll be a turnover. I think that's going to be the case as Mount St. Joe turns it over. We have made it. You can hear the wind now start to pick up. The skies are going to clear up a little bit, but as we said earlier, going to be in the near 80 tomorrow after dropping down into the low 60s today. It's probably a good thing that the Quakers have a chance for 10 days before they play again. Maybe it'll be spring finally by the time they get back out. Here's Emma Lady on the right wing, back to inside the 12, and now we'll go into the restricted area. Now you see the defensive slides there as much as possible for Mount St. Joe's. They stay man-to-man, but the Quakers now moving out front. I think they pretty much, I'm not saying there's nothing set here, but you can kind of tell the Quakers a lot of times freewheeling it, just try to get a screen and dive to the inside like that one right there. And the shot's going to be knocked away. Good save. Meg Murphy had it for the moment. Here they come again. Roskamp, nope, it's going to be number 9 this time, which is Krista Kirk. Diving to the inside. Able to receive the feed right down the middle. Created the line that she needed, but unable to score. Official blowing that one dead once again. If the Quakers can get 2 more in the women's game, then there is a running clock as soon as the score gets to 10 and above. That's Hocker. Mount St. Joe trying to work into position again is Halfhill. Now they'll work it again to the right side on the wing. That is Brannon just beyond the 12, guarded by Roskamp. And now Halfhill. Now it's going to be Brannon again behind the cage. Good defense by Roskamp, maybe too good as they'll whistle that one dead once again. That rumbling you hear is the few Earlham fans that have decided to hang around trying to stay warm as that wind continues to pick up. And the Quakers, by the way, pretty much anybody in the Midwest, they haven't played in a whole lot of good weather yet. So off of the free position shot once again, nothing there. Trying to maneuver into the inside is Brannon, but Brannon cut off there defensively, and we may now have another free position shot right here. This will be on the hash mark to the right. And that will be Brannon on the free position shot now for the Lions. Brannon to the inside. Loses it. Good defense. The Quakers there at 3 white jerseys right there. Somebody's got to be open there for Mount St. Joe, but they don't find him in time. Now it'll be Halfhill behind the cage. Brannon receives. Brannon just scooping that right to the awaiting Dancer. Dancer will turn. Dancer cut off. Here is the drive and saving it to the inside. Good job there by Blackburn off the shot by Glacken. Boy, Glacken had a point-blank shot right in front of Blackburn. Could not deliver, but give Jordan Blackburn the credit on the save. Quakers turn it over. Will they at midfield? And yes, picked up there by Dancer. And then there is another takeaway, this time by Emma Lady. Lady, 4 dark jerseys around her, loses it for the moment, and now regains possession. As we come up on 16 minutes in this one, Quakers leading it by 8. Earlham has been very successful behind the cage, and right now it is in the possession of Krista Kirk. Kirk will work it back out to the left side, just beyond the 12. Here's Emma Lady. Emma back to the inside, changes hands, looks for the opportunity. Nothing there, and will we have a free position shot now for the Quakers? See if they work this. Will it be on the left hash or will it be on top? And it will be Emma Lady, and they're going to put her on the hash mark to the left. That's where the closest area of the violation happened against Mount St. Joe. So Emma Lady here for the Quakers. Opportunity, free position shot once again for the Quakers. Lady will bypass it. Here's Roskamp. Roskamp losing it, and a turnover by the Quakers. Is Brandon able to pick that one up off the turf? So instead of Lady deciding to do it herself, she thought maybe she'd find the cutting Roskamp, as the ball on the sideline turned over by Mount St. Joe. And then they'll get the possession back, picked up there by Neighbor, last touched by Krista Kirk for the Quakers. And wind picking up a little bit stronger here as Mount St. Joe going into the wind. The wind is coming out of the west, so they've had to attack into the wind the second half. Glacken over her stick. Ball will stay in bounds. Glacken able to pick it up. And Mount St. Joe once again in the critical scoring area just above the 12. Well, Quakers defensively playing well in the second half. They gave up that first goal, and that has been it for Mount St. Joe in the second half. And they're going to start running out of time here pretty soon, simply from the standpoint they've taken a lot of time on each possession now. Dancer works her way behind the cage. No cutters right at the moment. And now Dancer picked up by Roskamp. Handles the stick well, Dancer does, but Roskamp, not fooled yet, stays right with her on defense. Dancer looking for somebody to give it up to. Receives the screen there by Brannon. And the shot clock runs out. So a shot clock violation against Mount St. Joe. And that'll be a turnover. Good defense again by the Quakers. So Earlham back on offense as they'll work it here to the near side. Roskamp, I think that's Claudette. Will go back to the middle. Look out from the check from behind by Glacken. And Earlham able to advance it on the pass once again. Here's Emma Lady. Lady, good stick control. Back to the inside. Emma guarded there by Brannon, trying to find an opening. Here's Pisacano. Pisacano starts to make her move down the middle, now cuts back to the outside. Pisacano guarded there by, I think that's going to be number 13, Hocker. So Earlham will keep it here on the near side as Pisacano will have it behind just to the right of the cage. Warren back to Pisacano. Who will be the cutter this time? Emma Lady stops, almost went to the turf, able to keep her balance after she nearly went down. That'll be Pisacano. The feed intended for Murphy. Ball is loose. picked up by Pisacano. We'll have a delayed call right here. Pisacano looks back to the inside, but we're going to keep it here. The flag came out. The foul was called against Mount St. Joe. It was a delayed call. So a free position shot now for the Quakers. And let's see, is that going to be number 9? It is number 9, Krista Kirk. So once everybody is in position, we will start again. And again, it's Krista Kirk on the free position shot. Hash mark just to the left of the center. Mount St. Joe still working players in and out. And here is Kirk. Starts to make her move. Loses it on the way in. And back over now to Mount St. Joe's. We come up on the 12-minute mark here in the second half of play. But Earlham a comfortable 13-5 lead. About ready to win their 9th game of the season. And more importantly, moving to 3-0 in the HCLC. Behind the cage is Glacken. Glacken cut her down the middle. Ball loose. Turnover again by Mount St. Joe. Pass intended for Brannon. Here's Alexis Warren at midfield. Quakers have numbers right here. In fact, it could be a 4-on-3 break, as now coming out of it will be Krista Kirk, and we'll wait for even more help. Alexis Warren goes behind the cage as Kirk works it into the restricted area. Who will be the first cutter here for the Quakers? Kirk turns and scores. She didn't even wait. Krista Kirk, I think, had everybody fooled, including the goalie. Thought maybe she was going to come out of it behind the cage, and nobody was cutting. And the Quakers now lead this one 14-5. That's a great play by Krista Kirk, the sophomore out of Mitchell, Indiana. And now the Quakers, chance to get one more, and a running clock would really put a damper in Mount St. Joe time-wise and score-wise here late in the second half. Earlham wins this one, and as we said, they go to Franklin, and that'll be a tune-up for them against Transylvania in 2 weeks. Right now, Transylvania right behind the Quakers, a half game out. And odds are they probably won today at Hanover. So the Quakers would still hold on to a half-game lead in the standings. Mount St. Joe able to win the draw. And now the attack on the left side. Stick comes away. In fact, I'm not sure who lost the stick. That was 22, which is Glacken. And so it looks like we'll have a free position shot right here. Glacken kind of out of control that time. He might have gotten tripped up. But Glacken will have the free position shot from the top at the 12. Officials make sure everybody's in position. Glacken on the attack. Wide to the left on the shot. And it goes out of play. And should be Earlham ball, and it is. So the Quakers get it back. Unsuccessful on the free position shot for Mount St. Joe. And the Quakers back the other way. Very good passing tonight for the Quakers. And they have been finding the open player all night long. Here is Alexis Warren. Best way to beat the other team down the floor is as Warren spins twice. Got the crowd going a little bit. Nice move by Warren as she again fakes out the defender. Warren, look at the agility on the player that is a nice defender in the other game she plays in field hockey. Quakers after turning it over. Mount St. Joe gives it right back. Roskamp will find Emma Lady. Lady back to the inside. She does a great job switching her stick from hand to hand and still able to control the ball in that very small net. Here is Kirk once again for the Quakers. Krista Kirk again, the sophomore, just coming away with a goal moments ago. Kirk will now stop. Defending her there is Lickard. And Quakers go back behind the cage again. Still 56 seconds on the shot clock, so They could really work the clock down here. That is Roskamp. And again, the Quakers get one more. The clock will run until Mount St. Joe is able to get it back under 10. Here is Pisacano. And now Emma Lady backs up, and we have a whistle. And it looks like we will have a free position shot again for the Quakers. It'll be Emma Lady from the top. Quakers have had a lot of free position shots here tonight. Emma Lady goes low and scores, and Emma Lady gets on the board, and the Quakers now lead this one 15-5, and now the clock will run until Mount St. Joe can stop the scoring for the Quakers and get it back under 10. So the Quakers now 3 straight games in which they have scored 15 goals in a game. But we have a timeout instead. We will take a quick timeout. We'll reset that. It is 8:59 remaining in the second half on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Quakers lead it by 10.
Wish me luck, wish me luck. We've all said it. Thing is, life doesn't run on luck. For most people, it takes careful planning. A lot more than, say, crossing your fingers or toes. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Because as your life changes, your life insurance coverage should do the same. And when it comes to your coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Big Boys Pizza is now open in Richmond, located at 1015 East Main Street, next door to the Civic Theater. The menu has great sandwiches, pasta, salads, and of course, pizza. Come dine in, carry out, or have your food delivered day or night, at home or at the office. Other locations are in Connorsville and Brookville. Bring in a sports ticket after any game and receive 10% off your purchase. Ticket must be dated for the same day as your purchase. Dine in, take out, or delivery, Big Boys Pizza. 765-488-0023.
Think about the moments in your life, moments you might miss if you become ill. People often ignore their own health, even when their body is telling them something isn't right. Routine health screenings could be the difference between catching it early when it's more treatable or waiting until it's too late. Make time to have an annual wellness visit. Keep up with routine screenings so you don't miss out on any of your moments. Reed Health's team of experts can keep you in control of your health, making sure you stay right where you belong. Reed Health, right beside you.
Well, Earlham now with a 10-point lead as we are down to the last 8:59 after Earlham gets the goal off the free position shot just moments ago by Emma Lady. Emma Lady along with Claudette Roskamp continue to score big time this year for the Quakers. They'll both be back next year. Of course, Emma Lady, a junior. Roskamp, just a freshman. The draw won by the Quakers. So now you can just keep that clock running until Mount St. Joe finds a way to get another goal and cut that deficit back down to 9. And with Earlham, here's Pisacano. Looks back to the inside. Pass was high, and it was intended for Meg Murphy. Murphy unable to control it, and will go back the other way. Mount St. Joe now in control. They've had a difficult time offensively in the second half, just getting any continuity whatsoever, and that's a indication why right there. That pass was way too high. Again, they looked actually pretty decent in the first half. This thing was tied at 3 apiece at one point, and the Quakers have outscored Mount St. Joe since then, 12-2. So it kind of shows you the domination the Quakers have had since that time. And Earlham in no hurry here as they continue to now settle in the offense, down to 60 seconds on the shot clock. That's Pisacano. Earlham reads and then dives. You can kind of tell if they see an opening, they try to get it down the middle as you see Alexis Warren. Warren drawing the double team here as Roskampen scores. Nice pass, or is that number 9? That might be Krista Kirk. Yeah, it's going to be Krista Kirk on the goal. So Krista Kirk makes it a 16-5 lead here in the second half. Quakers have now tied the most goals they've scored this year. They had 16 back on a cold February 28th against Muskingum. They won that one 16-4. So the 16 are the most they've scored this year. Of course, they just came back from Bethany and Anderson with 15. We'll take that back. They did have 17 against Hollins and Ferrum. So the 16 will match the Muskingum in the second game of the year, but one more will tie the most goals they've scored this year. Draw attempt here as they stay in the circle. Of course, all those players right there are the only ones who can go for it right at the moment until the draw is won. And Mount St. Joe able to come away with it. And if you're the team behind and that clock is running, you're really looking at an uphill battle because there's nothing you can do to stop it until you get a couple of goals here and try to get that thing back under 10. So I think Mount St. Joe knows now this thing is in the bag, but they'd love to finish out in a positive nature. Good look here at Brannon, works it behind the cage. They've got some pieces, Mount St. Joe, just not enough. Brannon just moves to the right side and gives it up now to Dancer. Nice move to the inside. Dancer went low and scored. Well, pretty good attempt there by the goalie in Blackburn, just right between her legs and into the net. So the goal again by Dancer, and she is by far the best ball handler they have and the best scorer, at least today. So now back to a 10-goal lead for the Quakers at 16-6. So Earlham again will focus on their next game at Franklin, but it'll be 10 days from now. Maybe a chance to get a little bit of rest before they play those final 3 games. Our next home game again will be against Thomas More, but that won't be until April 27th. So we got a ways to go before we'll see this team again. A lot can change in 17 days. Draw one by the Quakers, and Earlham now in transition themselves as they'll try to get that goal back right here. Turnover Quakers as Earlham will give it up. Brandon dumps it behind, and now they'll work it to midfield. That is Hocker. Hocker does a nice job advancing the ball, has all night long. Hocker will work back toward the middle, breaking to her left and back to the right. Hocker. Now the double team is also coming up to check her with Manor, as Yusra Manor is in the lineup now for the Quakers. And we're coming up on 3 minutes. Well, Earlham's offensive numbers, especially by Roskamp today, but they got a nice game tonight from Krista Kirk. Earlham able to balance out their offense a little bit more here tonight. Emma Lady, of course, coming up with another nice game here tonight. As Brandon now at the top. And that'll be against, I think it might have been Belcher there for the Quakers. So a free position shot. Hash mark to the right, or they just give them the possession. They're going to say possession only on this one. No free position shot. Ball goes high and almost went in. Number 25 was there. That is Sarah Winstead for Mount St. Joe, and that ball was right in front of the cage area. And Jordan Blackburn able to get back in time to pick that one up off the turf. As we come up on the 2-minute mark here in the second half. Quakers have answered every call here tonight, including after giving up the first goal of the second half, and they came right back and scored immediately. And now have made this one at least look easy to this point as Krista Kirk now works behind the cage. And we're coming up on the now 1-minute mark. Roskamp went to the inside, backs it away again. So Roskamp using some clock here for the Quakers. You can hear the official making the call. I'm not exactly sure what he did call eventually, but it looks like it'll go against Mount St. Joe. And so the Quakers will have it. That is Roskamp now for Earlham. Alexis Warren now behind the cage for Earlham. Sydney Vanell has been in goal the entire match here today for Mount St. Joe. Into the inside. Kirk will score again. Went high with a shot. And the Quakers now 17 on the board as Krista Kirk does it again. The sophomore having a nice game here, but that was a nice feed as well and kept her cross up high and able to bring it down in control and score again. And the Quakers will walk out of here with a win tonight. As we are down to our final 20 seconds remaining. Last time we will have a draw here. And Earlham can put this one in the bag here tonight. So nice effort by the Quakers. They continue to roll. And this one is over. Your final score on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Earlham 17, Mount St. Joe 6. We'll come back and wrap it up in a moment. This is Earlham Women's Lacrosse, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Kate's Cages is the #1 indoor training facility for baseball and softball in Richmond by far. With top flight instructors, you will learn how to play the game the right way. Everything from pitching, hitting, catching, and fielding. Kate's Cages will also have the opportunity to participate in triple play fall ball, the softball academy, individual and team camps, and individual private workouts. Kate's Cages Baseball and Softball Indoor Training Facility, 1366 Rose City Boulevard. Call 993-2353 for more information.
As we wrap it up here tonight, Quakers with the win improved now to 9-4 overall. They are 3-0 in the Heartland Collegiate Lacrosse Conference. So a big win here this evening for Mount St. Joe. They're now 2-6 on the season. They are 1-1 in conference play. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the Quakers next will play at Franklin, but not until April the 20th, and that is a 1 o'clock start time. They'll travel to Transylvania. That's probably the one to watch, as Transylvania and Earlham now will battle for first place in the HCLC. That's a 7 o'clock start time from Transylvania on April 24th, and we won't be back here until April the 27th when they'll play Thomas More. That's a 1 o'clock start time. We'll have a much better idea of the playoff picture at that time, especially after the Transylvania matchup on April the 24th. But the Quakers win it tonight, a final 17-6. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time. This has been Earlham Women's Lacrosse, Radio Troy Digital Sports.